Eileen Caddy's guidance for today, January the 7th. Never at any time close your heart and mind. Never be afraid of the new, of the strange, of the unconventional. Be ready and prepared to listen to the intuition, the inspiration, which may reveal something so completely new to you that it may not even have form or substance, and you may have to clothe it in words. Intellectual pride can be a handicap along this spiritual path and a real stumbling block to the truth. It is not the intellect you need, it is inspiration and intuition. The intellect comes from without, whereas intuition and inspiration come from within and cannot be influenced by anything without. Let your learning come from within. Draw from all that you have within you. You will be amazed at what you contain. It is limitless because it comes from me, and I am limitless. And all that is of me is limitless and eternal. Well, another beautiful reading. I'll say that every time, of course. It always seems to be the right reading for the perfect moment. But there is this emphasis on letting go of our intellectual wisdom and favoring, leaning on the wisdom that comes from within, our intuition and our inspiration, and the difference between the two. And this is something that Eileen is channeling here through the words of the still small voice within, the voice of God within her, the voice of the soul. It's something that a lot of spiritual teachers and mystics talk about across spiritual traditions. They talk about this need for the student to be the tabula rasa, the blank slate, that you can't learn your way to enlightenment. You can't know more things towards enlightenment. The great Indian enlightened sages, Anandamayi Ma and Ramana Maharshi, also talked on this theme, this subject. You can't know more in order to become more awake. It's not something, it's not a journey or a process that happens with the mind. And if you read some of these books, there is a book, I think it's Nanyar in Sanskrit, which means who am I? Which was the great form of self-inquiry that Ramana Maharshi, the enlightened sage, talked about. You have these devotees and these people that have traveled for miles, these disciples that are asking him questions. You can hear in the dialogue, they're asking questions from the mind. It's not something that can be understood from the mind or our intellect. It's a knowing, a deep knowing that comes from our intuition and our inspiration, and the practice of becoming silent, which was an extraordinary practice, shall we say, if I can get my words out, that again, these sages in India, in medieval Europe, in 1960s Scotland, these mystics across time, across centuries, across countries, across traditions, all emphasized the importance of the practice of silence. From Ramana Maharshi, who was silent for many years in India, the turn of the 20th century through to the 50s, which was when he was living, to Meister Eckhart, living in medieval to Renaissance Europe, yeah, to Saint Teresa of Avila, living in Catholic Spain, to Ramakrishna, all of these saints, all of these teachers, to Eileen, living in Scotland in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, were all talking about the importance of silence. Silence is the way in, the key, the doorway in to hearing our own sense of knowing, from our intuition and our inspiration that comes from within. And it's in that silence we go deeper and we go deeper to hear the quiet voice within, not the loud voice of the mind, not the loud voice of the world outside, but the still small voice within. Sending lots of love to you all.